Despite being in a relatively new and safe environment, children, who make up 65% of the total refugee population, are, at all accounts, the most affected group. Refugee children are in fact largely known to suffer many post-conflict issues in their new countries of asylum. Among them being psychosocial distress, access to basic education, family care and protection.
I'm a student. I was go to school. How do my brother and sister to eat? Even if there is no food, I thinking a lot of something like how my brother and sister to get the food and eat.
As I'm a refugee in Uganda here, it is a conflict which happened in South Sudan there. That conflict, it affects all citizens. That's why we are here as a refugee.
In South Sudan, there is a lot of fear in which he said that you are going to die today.
World Vision Uganda, which has a core interest in children, in partnership with the ADH, among other partners like UNICEF, found the need to bridge this gap, then identified areas of child protection and psychosocial care that needed to be addressed. The program is subdivided into themes of child-friendly spaces, early childhood development centers, peace building, strengthening community-based child protection systems, including senior women and men teacher positions and child protection committees.
When refugees began coming in Uganda, we realized that 65% of the total population were children, and because they were coming from a war-ravaged area, we basically look at 4 things. One of them is strengthening community-based child protection systems. We look at child protection committees within the communities, and equally look at center management committees or school management committees and PTAs within the schools. Secondly, we look at child-friendly spaces, which are the entry of psychosocial support for children in emergencies, and then we integrate these child-friendly spaces with early childhood development centers.
Each of these implemented across, particularly tackling the well-being of the refugee children and harmonious synchronization with the host communities. As a result of the program, several successes have been registered under the different themes with individual testimonies from beneficiaries.
My name is Achol Mundeng. I'm a refugee in Uganda from South Sudan. At 17, in primary 6, I had a family of 5, juggling all responsibilities expected of a parent.
Achol Mundeng lost her father during the war and today heads a family of 4 other siblings, the youngest being 3. Trying to find food for her family when war broke out, Achol's mother didn't return home and hasn't surfaced since. At 17, with dreams of being a doctor, Achol has a heavy burden on her shoulders that evidently weighs down on her emotions.
During the war, my mother escaped alone. I escaped with my brothers because even take care of my brother and sister is so difficult.
Like me, several other children have many different absurd stories from the sudden turn of events in their lives as a result of the South Sudan war.
Many of the children that come to these CFSs have heartbreaking stories to tell about their personal experiences and scars from the war. 15-year-old James, known to his real names, in primary 5, is ably and happily attending school. However, James is until recently healing from the trauma of surviving abduction to join a rebel force while still back home in South Sudan. The experience, as he narrates it, is an ordeal he will live to tell.
I was running. We was going to the bush to take the cow for grass. Then we get some soldiers there.
which are one is up and one is down. Is lying down. We say that they are our people. Then we go with that brother of mine. We go with him. Then we go and get them that they are those people who are rebel. They was taking that child and they want to challenge him. They want to say that we are your people and what. Then I hearing them that they are not our people. They are rebel. Then I tell that brother of mine that let's go away. Then he refused. Then they want to shoot me, then I run away.
Completely orphaned, Daniel takes responsibility not just to educate himself, but as well take care of his brother.
During the war, my father later died in the war. Yeah, we remain with my mother. Yeah, we've been suffering from anger. My father looked at and there's not any solution for my mother to help us. He went looking for a job in the hotels. He found it and always cooking pepper pot. He later got sickness from that cooking of pepper pot because it's very hot. He fell sick and later died in 2014. And my father died in 2006. We remain an orphans.
16-year-old David Makwi, who currently lives with his auntie in their settlement home, had to break away from his family during the war and has not seen them since. David, in a special way, has gone an extra mile to explore his football passion as he trains his peers at the child-friendly spaces and further encourages his colleagues to use the facilities. Through the child-friendly spaces and peace-building sessions that happen here, great transformation has been realized and the children can now testify to healing through the activities.
If I go there, I forget everything. I will forget everything. I do not think something bad in my heart. And they help me also by the halwas and some help more something. They will advise me and what and we dancing. Good activity.
It's good because if you work together, it will be good and promote also peace to work together.
CFS, the World Vision provides many activities, and the activities include football, volleyballs, even for both boys and girls. These activities and many other small games.
And then there is a training which takes place, which can tell us to be in peace, like peace builder. There is a peace builder which can take place here in child-friendly space. Now that one can mobilize us.
These activities, it united all children here in CFS.
These spaces have tremendously helped the children that flock them every evening to overcome their fears and trauma.
Even you must forget all problems. That's why I want to thank World Visions about making those and providing for us all these activities. We are here in CFS.
Like in the case of Adjumani and Ayilo, World Vision has fundamentally helped disabled children by providing them with wheelchairs, causing a remarkable change in their lives. Ayilo can now access child-friendly spaces with ease and interact with other children. Like Moon, Jok and Makwi, thousands of other South Sudanese refugee children have vast emotionally traumatic experiences from the war. However, today most of them have a glimmer of hope for the future.
Here in Uganda, there is everything. There is school. You can even see me here. Now I'm talking very good English.
I want to be a doctor in the future.
I will be a good person in future.
Early childhood development centers have been integrated to help children between the ages of 3 to 8 attain skills and knowledge of an equal measurable to a kindergarten or nursery school. Caregivers who have been trained on how to manage children help with the activities at the CFSs and ECDs.
We're helping by teaching. We're helping also when we get the child. Maybe the child is orphan. We can identify that orphan child. We can report World Vision report to LWF. We can do like that. Also, when we get the deaf, all those disabled children, we know the sign of the disabled. We can helping them like that, and we follow the home.
Equally, the ECDs have been of great help to the little ones in helping them catch up with nursery basic education and early interaction. The program has gone ahead to provide channels under which children can be further nurtured into responsible adults. Senior women teachers were introduced at the different schools and CFSs to help adolescent girls with understanding their bodies and taking responsibility of their lives.
So we train the senior man teacher on how to identify child protection issues on both girls and boys, looking at the risk they are facing.
Getting in touch with them is a way of finding out there are certain things that they may be going through, but because they don't know where to address it, so it may be hard for them. So getting in touch with them helps them to open up.
The senior women teachers as well greatly help girls deal with their menstruation by providing sanitary towels, reducing the stigma which surrounded it before, causing school dropouts.
When a girl begins to menstruate while at school, we help such girl.
Teach us about the personal hygiene of a girl. How can a girl behave in front of many people? How can you respect other people? How can you respect yourself?
Role model couples have also been introduced in the communities to set a good precedent for the rest of the families through talks and counseling. These mainly target the children's proper upbringing. Akwal and his wife are one of the role model couples. Akwal makes rounds in his community, conducting talks at the gatherings.
I told them, you cooperate with your children. You love your children. If your child needs something, you give to him.
He takes the extra initiative in sitting down to counsel young couples on marriage to help them bridge their differences, such as this one at the Nyumanzi settlement, Block B. In the settlement communities, child protection committees have been set up to help monitor the well-being of children. The committees track down education and general welfare of the children, ensuring that all children can ably access the basic services they need, and most of all, that they're not hurt in any way.
And they are trained so that they can identify cases within the communities, those cases which affect children, including violence against children, and then they refer them for further management.
Ke ku chilo tukule ka yu ke do na chilo tukule ka yu ke do bu ka nge na chilo ke le yala ki ke lo ke le yala ka u ba bi ku ti du ke na chilo indul ka kwanu ka che bu ka la te dol ka be ke ya ku du be ko na ye ta ine.
World Vision has been able to register such tremendous strides with the program through other partnerships with the government stakeholders, such as the Department of Education, that has enabled refugee children access the same services as those in the host communities.
And we don't say these are refugees or these are national, so that's the basis of having the integration. Any activity that is for refugees shall also cater for nationals, or any activity for nationals should be able to cater for the interest of refugees.
Despite the many significant successes the psychosocial care and child protection program has achieved, it has not come short of some challenges.
One of the key challenges we have faced in implementing child-friendly spaces in the whole of West Nile is low level of volunteerism. And equally, language is a problem.
Plus, several lessons have been learned during its implementation.
Children are a key stakeholders if we are to enhance and strengthen capacity building and also move on with our child protection programming.
This can, however, be greatly addressed with the recommendations given.
We really need more funds to enhance capacity building among the refugees and equally capacity building for the partners within the district, like the district local government, so that they can provide a monitoring and inspection of these facilities in case World Vision moves on.
In all, the program has indeed registered great impact for the intended beneficiaries, and if further extended, can reach an even much more progressive effect.
So I request the World Vision to continue with us. Since we came here, that's why I mentioned before that this change came through the World Vision. When they go away, our children will go back home, and we can lose the hope.